Now let's do powers and roots. Okay. So let's say we got 2.4 times 10 to the 2 to the power of 3. Okay. So that's like 2.4 to the third times 10 squared to the third. Okay. Now, this is x squared to the third. When we have this, we multiply the powers. So this is times 10 to the 6. We got that. But 2.4 to the third is 2.4 times 2.4 times 2.4. Okay, so let's do this by hand, right? 2.4 times 2.4. 4 times 4 is 16. 4 times 2 is 8 and 9. X. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 4, I'm sorry, 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 2 is 4. This is a 6. That's 10, 9, or 16, 17. That's easier. And then 5. Okay. 5, 7, 6. There's 2 decimals, so it's 5.7, 5.76. And now I'm going to multiply that with 2.4, another 2.4, okay? 4 times 6 is 24. 4 times 7 is what, 28, 29, 30. 4 times 5 is 23, right? Don't forget to add the 3. 2 times 6 is 12. Let's put an X here. 2 times 6 is 12. 2 times 7 is 14, 15. 2 times 5 is 10, 11. Oh. Multiplying by hand is crucial. 4, 2, I think this was a 3. That's an 8. 2 and 1 is 3, and then a 1. And then we got 1, 2, 3 decimal places. 1, 2, 3. So it's 13.824 times 10 to the 6 power. But we need to change that, right? So if we make this smaller, the number smaller, we have to make that one bigger. 1.3824 times 10 to the 7th. Let's see. Okay, let's turn it on. Let's quit this. So I have to use parentheses. I want to. We'll do it that way. 2.4 to the power of 2, right? Close it. And then you could square it, but this is not a square, it's a cube. So we're going to have to use this button here, to the power of 3. Enter. 1.384, 1.3824 times 10 to the 7th. Pretty amazing. Okay. So let's do the square roots. So if we had a square root of 16 times 10 to the 4th, right? This is square root of 16 times the square root of 10 to the 4th. Square root of 16 would be 4 times 10 to the 4th. Well, 10 to the 4th square root. There's a 2 here, the index. So it's 10 to the 4 divided by 2. This 2 goes here. 4 divided by 2 is 2. So 4 times 10, 4 times 10 squared. 4 times 10 to the 2nd power. Let's do that. This problem wouldn't be given to you because this decimal would have been moved over. I'm going to show you in a little minute what we can do. So Here, we'll take the square root, so second square root, and then we'll go 16, E, 4, and then enter. 4 times 10 to the 2. What would be the problem, what the original problem here would have probably been something like the square root of 1.6 times 10. If I make this number smaller, I'll make this bigger. Would have been something like this. The thing is, this is an index of 2, and 2 doesn't go 2 doesn't go into 5 very easily, so this 5 would have had to been changed. And when we change the 5 to a 4, then this would have changed to a 16. Because if I make this number bigger to make it 16, I have to make this number smaller. So it's a strategy, especially if you're doing this by hand. So for example, let's say we would take in the square root of 0.81 times, this is different, times, let's say 10 to the 6, right? Well, this is square root of 0.81 times the square root of 10 to the 6. The square root of 0.81 is 0.9. It's like the square root of 81. And this one, 10 to the 6, right, square root, an index of 2. This 2 is going to go down here. So 10 to the 6 over 2, 10 to the third. So times 10 to the third. But this decimal is not in the right place. We need it in the ones place. So we're going to move this over. We're going to make this bigger, this number bigger by moving the decimal over. And we're going to have to make that smaller. And is that the answer? Well, we'll find out. Take the square root of 0.81 to the power of 6. Enter. 9.0 times 10 to the 2, or 9 times 10 to the 2. Okay. So the secret here is that this exponent, right, needs to be even so that you can easily have an integer. So most of these problems will turn out nice. Of course, there are situations where you don't know the square root of some number, and if they let you use the calculator, then it'll be much easier to do, of course. So if you like this, if you like this content, if this was valuable, please tell your friends. Please give it a thumbs up and show it to your teacher. Maybe your teacher will put it online. All right, I hope you have a great semester. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.